had an awesome idea. I saw a beer truck today. It was pulled, semi, but it's got the beer trailer on the back, the refrigerated slide door. It was a Pabst. It had all Pabst graphics on it.
Are you serious?
I was like, that's our next trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. and we'll just get a diesel and...
You seriously saw a Pabst one?
Yes.
No shit.
Yeah. It was a thing of beauty.
It's magical.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I've always thought that, having something like that, imagine how easy it would be to get your, slide up the side door and, pull your gear out and shit like that.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think that would be kind of...
Drum rack. How do we do that?
I think there's still a middle section.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't know.
Who's getting their CDL? Not it.
I'll do it.
Not necessarily.
I'll do it.
You can pull it with pull it with a truck.
Oh, okay.
Not my truck, but like diesel.
A truck, yeah.
I'll do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Have I given like a status update in terms of where I'm at with like pushing Pabst?
No.
To give us a sponsorship?
No, we haven't talked about that for a while.
Okay, so to most of the viewers, at least the frequent viewers,
the viewers,
the listeners, we got audio visual learners.
That's
too.
true. Yeah. Visualizers.
Yeah. To any of the listeners that have followed the podcast, that we self-identify as the Pabst sponsored band that isn't sponsored by Pabst. And we've tried for 6 years. Probably 7.
When did we play Ellsworth?
It was a long time ago.
2019. Is that before the album came out?
Sounds right.
That does. Yes. When did I turn 21? Would have been 7 years ago. So yeah,
many moons ago.
Yeah. Anyway, we have pushed hard to make content, and have gotten quite some memorabilia through the whole thing, which I'm very grateful for. But
given to us.
Yeah, given to us.
Not actually gone and purchased. There might be a couple things up there, but for the most part, all this Pabst Blue Ribbon memorabilia on the wall has been gifted to us.
Yeah.
Not from Pabst, mind you.
Yeah. But, jumping back to that, anyway, we've made compilations, sent it to Pabst, we've emailed Pabst, we've done a lot of shit for them, and nothing. No response. And so now I'm just going to go on the record and say it, that if, this were to somehow land on Pabst's ears, that I'll settle for a cease and desist. I'll settle for the cease and desist.
He will. The rest of us won't.
It will be framed and hung on the wall. That's really where I'm at with it.
Yep.
I
just want something in writing.
Yeah. Shortly after,
just want acknowledgement. It's all I've ever wanted in my entire life.
Shortly after Into Summer Bash, they have a way to email them about sponsorships, and so I reached out to them, and haven't heard anything yet. I figure after the first of the year, I'll reach out to them again, see if we can't get them to at least be an Into Summer Bash sponsor.
Yeah.
We need some new signage out there, and instead of going to the Budweiser distributor, we'd sure like to put Pabst Blue Ribbon stuff all over that stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And already have the permission to do so.
Yep. So
that would be great.
PBR, call me, please.
Yeah.
Please. In other news, I watched a few movies. I watched the Korean film Flu. It was on Amazon. You watched it? Pretty good. I rather enjoyed it. I also watched Hardcore Henry for the first time. I haven't ever watched that.
I haven't watched all of it.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a 100% first-person perspective.
Yeah,
of a movie.
It's basically like a video game movie. Just all.
Somehow I got Mac to watch it with me, And she fell asleep halfway through, but she was like, yeah, I really wasn't feeling it. I was like, yeah, it's definitely a man movie. Like, it's ultra violence, just ridiculous carnage. And it was fucking awesome. The music was bumping the whole time. Like,
I watched Smile 2. Have you watched it yet?
Not yet. Not yet. I tried to get her to watch it with me. She won't do it.
Yeah, so. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. She still hasn't seen the first one. So I've got to go back and show her the first one. And
good luck with that.
Yeah, I'll show her the first one. She'll be like, I'm not watching that.
No.
Fuck you.
No. It had a great opening with a direct tie-in to the first one.
Nice.
And then, just kind of up the ante.
Hell yeah.
It was interesting, though, that like the main character was a pop star. And that M. Night Shyamalan movie, Trap, that came out. Either one of you ever watch it?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't yet.
Again, it was, a pop star was not the main character, but was a main character. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things like, Dante's Peak and Volcano coming out at the same time or, it's just on the...
It was the tapping into the zeitgeist.
Yeah. It's like a script getting passed around and, somebody picks it up and somebody says, well, I can take that idea and make it better, I think is what happens. Either one of you start Skeleton Crew?
No.
I started. I saw the first episode.
I want to
just watch the first one or the first two. The first two came out the same time.
Yeah, I think I watched the first two.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about a phenomenon that I don't think gets enough highlight. That I am a devout Star Wars fan, etc., etc., etc.
Not exactly.
Yeah. See, what, you got a Star Wars tattoo? Shut the fuck up.
But I don't need it.
Yeah, I don't need it.
I
permanently marked.
I owned the merchandise.
Yeah, whatever.
Consumed all the media.
But that's where I'm going with it, is the second that Disney picked it up, other than the mainline movies, and same thing goes with Marvel movies, I quickly got overwhelmed in terms of the content, to the point that I'm like, fuck, like I can't, you know what I mean? Like,
well, the bad thing is with Star Wars, the mainline movies are not where you want to be spending your time anyway.
Right.
Unfortunately.
But I watched a couple of the series. I watched Mando, and then I started, what was the Rogue One? Andor.
So fucking boring. It's a good story, but it's so fucking boring.
It was just slow.
But really what I'm getting at is just like this mass produce content that has quickly overwhelmed me to the point that like like whenever you say Skeleton Crew's out, I'm like, that's great. I've got 30 fucking seasons of other shit that I've got to go sift through before I get to it. Now I know I can jump and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with like Marvel movies now too. In terms of like, I haven't actually gone out, watched series or watched Marvel movies for a while, just because I'm like, there's so much shit now that I have lost track of. And like, I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, and that was fine for me to follow through because that was relatively tied. And I know in general I can explain most of it as, this is multiverse shit,
Yeah.
But that motivation there.
Your whole problem is that you've just procrastinated too long when things come out, and now you've built up all this whole backlog of things.
I guess my
if you're
other
just
concern,
on the ball when it comes out.
Yeah.
if
you're
I'm on the
good.
ball. Okay, sure.
Especially on this weekly shit. It's like 30, 45 minutes. Boom, done.
Yeah, lost me. Sorry. But
that is one of the things that I think hinders the Star Wars shows more than anything, is that they
release them week by week,
but they're releasing these. They're basically like long movies that they've just cut into sections.
Right.
So
yeah.
Almost every episode
is a commitment.
It's somewhat unfulfilling.
Maybe
because you're just waiting for the big picture.
Maybe what I'm realizing is that I have commitment issues, and that's really what I'm struggling with.
Well, when I asked you guys if you watched Skeleton Crew, it was just courtesy for you. I didn't expect it, so it was.
Well, yeah, no, I know what you're getting at, but at the same token too, there's that part of me that's just like, man, I feel bad for a new fan. I feel good and I feel bad. Good, lots of content for them to consume and enjoy. Bad because I'm like, oh my God, Like the volume of it is just
right. It's a lot to get through.
Right.
If you want to collect them all.
Right.
You know?
Right. If you really want your nerd badge.
Right.
But Skeleton Crew really is kind of living up to the marketing as a Goonies in space. It's very, and it's almost Pirates of the Caribbean in space. One of the best things is there. Of course, there's a droid.
Mm-hmm.
His name is SM-33, which is a subtle nod to Peter Pan. Smee.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
I didn't catch that,
but that's voiced by Nick Frost.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's good, and he's basically a pirate droid.
Nice.
Yeah, he's missing an eye, but he's got like this little rat thing that lives in his eye, and so it's like having a parrot on his shoulder. But the last
he's not
episode,
quite as good as an SM-57.
No.
Music nerd joke. Okay,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
K2SO. He was not a music nerd, but we should get him in Andor season 2.
That was
Looking
for
forward to
that was for the listeners out there.
Yeah.
Very professional, top production.
As
Nothing but the best.
and as much as I'm enjoying Skeleton Crew, there is a bigger, darker story that has yet to reveal itself. So everything you get surface level has been enjoyable, but there's definitely a bigger story there. Not as excited to talk about it as I am Dune.
I was going to ask. That was my question. Yeah. The latest episode, I've been so overworked
thing
lately that I tried to watch the newest episode last night, and I totally just woke up drooling on myself and missed the end of it. So I don't know. Yeah. I need to watch it again.
I think it is honestly a little slow.
I think in general.
I don't think that was my problem. I think I was just
out.
I came in
anyways,
and I expected it to be better than Wheel of Time. And
hey, Wheel of Time season 3 is coming out next year.
Zach! Oh my God, Zach!
It's a travesty. It's a travesty. Burn it all. Burn it with fire.
I did not watch it.
And we'll discuss this here in a minute too. But I had a chance last week to talk about Dune with Dee, who is not here tonight, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But my one major gripe of this whole series is it's 10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides.
Yep.
Why is everything the fucking same?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
100 years, 300 years before, I could accept it.
Yeah.
But they've already found Arrakis. They've already got problems with Fremen. Spice is a thing.
Yeah.
10,000 years.
They have the Sword Masters of Ginaz are a thing already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my one gripe.
Me too. I was, yeah.
What's the point of going that far back?
Yeah, I don't understand.
I would have loved to seen them, having a hand in the exploration of space, finding spice, shit like that. But it's called Dune Prophecy. It's not.
I like that we're seeing how the voice was developed.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
But again, it's the same type of thing.
10,000 years ago,
the sisterhood is already a thing.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
One could argue that the time is different. That it's not a true 10,000 years.
Oh, like a year is
Dune
different.
Time.
Yeah, but Dune is set in reality. 10,000 years from now.
Right. Everybody walking around with
But a year depends on what planet you're on.
wired
True.
earbuds in their nose. Yeah, reality. I get
it. They did briefly touch upon the war with the thinking machines, and Brooke brought up that point. She's like, well, maybe they're not using computers, so maybe that's why they're not advancing as fast. And I'm like, no, we didn't have computers in 1900. Look how far we've come in 120 years. So
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I've got the same gripe with
instantly.
that.
And
Instantly.
I still look back, like in terms of time and scale of like modern time. I look at my great grandmother that was 104.
Yep.
And I look at everything that her life experienced.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, and I think like the whole point of like the book God Emperor of Dune is that he became like Leto the Second became a tyrant over the course of I forget how many years,
Thousands.
Yeah, I think like 3,000 years or close to it, right?
Yeah.
Just to make sure that there was no progress,
Right.
Just to make sure that things stay the same.
But we
Yet-
don't have that.
But
back
yet
here,
for 10,000 years, nothing changed really.
it just.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think they wanted to throw around a big number or put it close to, the war with the thinking machines, but
If Trump was God Emperor, the war with the thinking machines would have already ended by now.
But
the sand pit would be a beautiful city.
so okay, unfortunately, there's one nice little thing that we haven't seen in Dune yet with movies, series, whatever.
Boobs.
That pops up. No, we got boobs in the first episode.
Yeah.
Oh, we did get. Oh, okay.
It's HBO.
Yeah, I
it's
know,
an
it's gotta
HBO
be
series.
boobs.
If you don't
It's
have
true.
tits and ass in the first season, then
I know.
Nobody watches after.
no,
It's true.
you taper them off after the first season.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Dude rocks.
The sleeper has awakened.
It's
every morning,
just worm boobs. Sandworm boobs. Worm on worm action.
it's the old man in Hot Fuzz.
Touch. It's do for Hawat milking a cat. Cat teats.
See, it's little details like that I miss from the new ones.
Right. Which that wasn't in the books, I don't think. I think that was from the Twisted Mind.
David Lynch.
David
That was
Lynch.
all David Lynch, right?
It's freaking great.
Now he made Lost Highway, right?
Yes.
Okay. That movie's a fucking trip.
Yes, it is.
Super
Like-
trip.
Like first time I ever watched it, I didn't know what to expect, and then it starts, and I'm like, and then it ended, and I'm like, I still don't know.
I know.
what-
That's the
But it's
thing.
great.
But
That's
it was.
That's
fucking
why I
awesome.
love that movie. It's like okay, what do you think this means? And it could be
I think he just genuinely like had that dream,
Dick
wrote it down,
Laurent is dead.
and then somebody read that script and was just like, "This doesn't make any sense," and be like, "I know,
yeah, exactly.
publish it."
Well, the whole idea from the movie stemmed from somebody ringing his intercom and saying, "Dick Laurent is dead."
Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's
We're like,
awesome.
who the fuck is that?
But
It makes me want to call up a random person and just say that.
Right.
Dick Laurent is dead.
but no, I mean,
I'm gonna beat the shit out of somebody for tailgating.
Yeah.
it's a trip, dude. It's a trip. Great soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because we can never talk about Lost Highway because D hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to talk about that.
What?
You said we'll get to that later.
Oh yeah. So we do have some news. We'll probably make a more public statement instead of the three of you listening.
Hey, Dalton.
But our sweet D is going back to school to get his master's degree, and his participation in the podcast and possibly the band may be hit or miss. But we love our sweet D, and we want him to be involved as much as possible. So that olive branch is always out there. But we also want him to get some peace of mind.
And we believe in higher education in this house.
Yes.
We don't believe in student debt.
No,
Joe
but
Biden, it's not too late. It's not too late.
yeah, right.
I gambled the whole time of quarantine. I didn't make one single payment. I was like, he's going to come in. He's going to fix it.
Right.
When everybody was telling me, like, there's no interest on this. This is the time that you really pay it off. I'm like, yeah.
Like, Joe,
Suckers.
Joe.
Not a dime. And then he was like, we're going to do it. And then the entire government was like, no, you're not.
So, Daddy Joe,
Come on, Sleepy Joe.
pardon all your sons and daughters.
I paid mine off like right before he started talking about helping people. I was like, son of a bitch.
God damn it. But
That's all right. That's all right.
yeah, no, the second that all that like came in and be like, the payments will resume, I walked in, I was just like, fuck. Like, well, I guess I'll start paying now. But I'm paying it. I'm doing my due diligence. I borrowed it. I'm paying it.
Yeah, you hear that?
But
don't come after Q.
But
He's paying.
I was also gonna play the system. If it was gonna apply to me, I was gonna get it. That's all I'm saying.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm at. And there was a lot of people that followed up with that too, in terms of like, I wouldn't if I were you.
Right.
Right, wrong, or indifferent about how they stood on that shit.
Right.
They're like, if it applies to you, don't fucking do it. So.
Oh, of course, this isn't a visual podcast, so maybe we'll talk about it afterwards. But we've been toying with some new merch ideas.
So I didn't know if we were going to talk about it.
Some online exclusives, essentially, and we haven't locked anything down yet. We're definitely going to do some things once we start dropping music, which we are going to start doing in 2025, come hell or high water.
Big things coming. Big things coming.
Well, that just
Had
screwed
to
it.
say it.
But one, I wouldn't even call it a test item. This was just a passion.
It was a passion. It was a guilty
purchase.
It was a guilty purchase.
That we put together. Quentin ordered himself. And it may be one of those things that, we'll put out to you to see if there's any interest. 'Cause it ain't cheap. It ain't cheap. Even in bulk, it ain't cheap.
No.
But what he's got coming is a fully custom, fully stitched and embossed edge over edge hockey jersey.
Oh, sweet. I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah.
that's going to be sweet.
Yeah, I'm fucking pumped. Dad and I sat there and meticulously worked out the designs and pulled the trigger.
Wow. All right. I'm seeing a picture of this thing right now, and that's freaking sick, dude.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what's on the shoulder patches.
But we went with kind of a traditional style.
97. Why did you pick number 97?
Birth year.
Oh, yeah. All right. That makes sense.
And so the thought was, if you guys end up getting one, that we would personalize it to your guys' birth year as well, so that way we all had different numbers.
And then for public consumption, instead of our last names, we put edge over edge on the back with the 90 inception date.
Mm-hmm. So,
but red, black, and white. Dems our colors, and these colors don't run.
But anyway, 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
6 week lead time on those?
Yep. And you best bet your ass I'm going to be the nicest little barfly slam piece in all the land at the bar. That can't slam. But
but yeah,
no
so
slamming.
But forehead kisses, though, still on the table.
Yeah,
you're a forehead kissing slut.
Not wrong. I had to give out some at end of summer bash. I tell you guys that. They're like, "Where's my forehead kiss?" And I was like, "Oh shit, you got me, shit."
So we played with some designs for obviously some t-shirts, long sleeve tees, some like joggers,
mouse
shoes.
Pads.
There was some shoes, dude.
Dude, the mouse pads, I'm hyped for it.
Oh,
that looks so good. I was like, I need
desk
that.
mat.
Yeah, I mean,
desk
that's
mat.
what I'm saying. Mouse
Yeah.
pad, but I mean desk mat. It's huge.
But in the scope of all our edge over edge stuff, we also threw in some off the edge podcast designs and even a couple of still point visions designs. Right now, the big thing is just jumping through all the hoops, man, because e-commerce can be kind of a nightmare, and I have not figured it all out. So if anybody's an expert in e-commerce and selling merch and something that isn't going to cost us an arm and a leg, That's a big thing. We're we're not delusional to think we're going to be selling thousands of dollars a month. So I don't want to be putting out more than I'm taking in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We already make too much money off our OnlyFans content. So
Right.
we don't want to,
Don't want to upset the apple cart.
Right. The tax man, if you will.
Yeah, the Apple Card episode was pretty wild.
Is that dude?
What? No,
OnlyFans.
in our OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know I could fit that many apples up there.
For whatever reason, we don't get
Q is the Apple Card.
we don't get enough traffic, but maybe it's because it's at OnlyFans, PHANS.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Boy, that just killed it all.
Oh,
That's
right.
Yeah, that was a real zinger of a joke.
Right.
Great. Oh, this normally kills. I don't know.
Ka-chow.
Wow.
Who lived?
That was a good episode. That was a good episode that night. I think we're all feeling it. I got allergies or something, man. This is killing me.
Oh.
It's killing the listeners too.
I need more Pabst. So
I noticed that you have changed your pronunciation, pronouncing it properly now.
Pabst.
How did you?
I still don't do it, but
What did you say before?
Pabst.
Pabst?
Pabst.
What the fuck's wrong with you people? Not pronouncing the T there.
the T is silent.
T is not silent.
No, it's not silent.
Pabst.
Pabst. Pabst.
Pabst.
Maybe I just have a speech impediment
Pabst.
because of my genetics.
Pabst.
And who do I have to thank for that?
I think you're Pogicide.
Oh, okay. And you hail from what side?
Pogicide.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
It was corrected, but then somebody kept losing his fucking retainers.
Yeah, after the third time, I said, I am just fucked.
It's all in the shape of the front of your mouth.
All I know, though,
And it was fixed
all I know,
after your braces.
all I know is that there was an option for a permanent bottom retainer, and I think that would have saved me a lot of fucking grief. So, because the bottom is what's really fucked up now.
Yeah, but that's not affecting your speech. It's the way that your front teeth are cupping forward.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a sign of wisdom and sexiness and massive things,
Assets.
in medieval times. So, truth be told, I'm just...
Oh, speaking of medieval times.
This is peak male performance. I don't know what to tell.
Speaking of medieval times, so, I told you I got the old VHC camcorder rolling again.
Mm-hmm.
Do some lo-fi video shit, and you had the idea of us just fucking going nuts at like a medieval times,
Yeah.
where we dress up, but then we get drunk,
Trashed.
and I don't know. Honestly, I think what we ought to do is contact them and say, "Hey, can we participate?" Yes. I mean, straight up cable guy shit. But I had this beautiful idea to transition into in a different sky. A whole to be continued moment that perfectly ties it in. We create the vortex. Like in Army of Darkness.
Yeah, we get sucked in.
Yes. And so then we can go from this fucking lo-fi VHS shit to the high dollar cinematics.
Yes.
I
still think...
I've been thinking about what song we should do, and I think medieval times. Yeah, we should do medieval times. Left 20.
That'd be fun.
Because we can have the emotional part in the middle with the solo and this.
Yeah.
I'm holding Zach and he's bleeding out.
And then it goes into the breakdown. Oh yeah.
We could get
I love
like a few feet of just like sausage
things,
and you could just be holding it and and then I could just grab it.
You see him fumbling it in slow motion and like, I'm gonna teach you how to juggle.
I love this idea.
Right.
I thought it had legs because one, we're having fun that day. I don't care if the music video turns out like shit. we're having fun.
I just want to go to medieval times. I don't care about the camera.
I looked around to see if there was anyone closer, and there's not. Dallas is the closest.
Oh, God
But
bless Dallas.
if we can,
Oh, darn. Gonna have to go to Dallas.
all right, all right.
Yep.
I'll just add another trip. It's fine. We're going to Dallas all the time next year.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that?
Sure.
Sugar Daddy Q over here
Yeah.
is taking his old man to go see Spirit Box, Bill Murray, and Meshuggah next year.
3 separate shows.
3
Mind
separate
you.
shows.
Heck,
That'd be a
yeah.
wild lineup, though.
Which Bill Murray's in Tulsa.
Dallas. Like I said, Dallas. Anyway.
What venue in Tulsa?
Canes.
Oh, that'll be sweet.
I've never
Yeah.
been to Canes.
You haven't?
No.
What?
Oh, wow.
So this would be
That's
my first time.
crazy.
Yep. We are available to play Canes anytime.
Yes. Yeah.
I am anyway.
I mean, we are just fucked up enough that we could open for Bill Murray. Seriously, yeah. We're just that weird.
Please call me. Please.
I mean, if Bill Murray can open for Sleep Token, we can open for Bill Murray. That would be a hell of a show. That'd be
awesome.
strange.
Oh, it'd be so fun.
So good though.
So fun.
Country core to R&B core. I still don't know how to label Sleep Token other than I love them.
It's like the alternate
They've
side.
grown on me so much.
Once you adapt to his voice,
Yeah.
What I think is
And
it's,
then
it's
you-
comparable to
then it-
that of Deftones, where it's sex audio.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and that's ultimately what Sleep Token is. But it's like, let's sprinkle a little funk in there. Like,
Yeah, because honestly, it is not as audio sex as Deftones.
Right.
I don't think anybody
Right.
can do audio sex
yeah, no,
like Deftones.
I don't want
Right.
any other man moaning in my ear.
Right. But that's so we were talking about Poppy's new album before you got it here, and it's like a collection of metalcore hits.
Mhm.
You know, mixed with there's a synth pop song in there, and then there's some stuff that feels like, 2000s girl pop, but not like Britney Spears pop. More like who was the chick that played the piano all the time, and 1,000 Miles, or what I'm talking
Tori
about.
Amos? Or-
No.
Fiona Apple.
No. Who was the one that did the song you guys did for Miss Julie?
I don't.
What was that song?
Is it Pink?
No. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, but I mean, there's songs on there like that. But there is one song on there musically. It doesn't sound like the Deftones, but she is channeling Chino on the vocals, and it is awesome.
Hell yeah. But anyway,
I think on Sleep Token, like, I was like, I don't know about this guy singing like this. It's weird. I'm not against weird, but I'm just like, this seems like it's just a strange affectation, and I wasn't really digging it. But then I just started listening to the music, and it's like I'm totally in love with their drummer.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's just, and I don't even want to say that he's like the most technically like amazing dude. I mean, better than me.
But I think he
he's-
could be. If he just let him go. But
Well, I mean, but he just, I don't know, the choices he makes.
well, it's kind
They're
of like
just awesome.
well, it's kind of
just-
like bass
it's
players
great.
too.
it's
You know,
like
I don't
every
like-
time he comes into the song.
Like,
it's a simple beat when he's playing, but like coming into the song, it's always got this like
flair with it.
crazy fill.
And yeah, just like the little details are just
Yep.
are so awesome. But I don't say this about a lot of musicians, but it's a cliche. It's like, it's not the notes you play, it's the notes you don't play. But it's like, I kind of feel that way about that guy. It's
Yeah.
like,
Well, and that's the same thing with like bass players. Like, you know, a lot of the videos that you see of people that play dingwalls is you see these massive, crazy fucking tapping and strumming things that they do,
right.
and they're it's very impressive. But I just sit there and I go, it's just like, where's the groove, bitch? Where's the groove? Can't bump my head to this, bitch. What? This country used to stand for something.
And that's what's cool too, is especially when you take something like that's like some weird time, but at the same time, when it hits, you're just like,
You bump in your head.
Yeah, you feel the groove of it.
Right.
Exactly.
If I'm sitting there going like, okay, like I will outright admit I fucking love Car Bomb. Cannot bob my head to that shit at all.
Well, and that's how I felt about early Meshuggah when Meshuggah first came out. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
and
if it breaks my head, Bob, I'm pissed. I'm like, oh,
the old Meshuggah
you have to follow the right hand of the drummer because he's always keeping a beat. Even it might only line up.
It's all 4/4.
It might only line up like every minute and a half. Right, but he's like just keeping that steady for you so you don't get lost.
But to me that one episode of Seinfeld where Elaine dances in front of people for the first time and she's fucking horrible, that to me was early Meshuggah. I'd listen to Meshuggah and I'd see her dancing and it would like line up in my head.
But last thing on Sleep Token,
yes,
that dude sings in a range that I can hit every note that he sings. So singing along with it is like, I don't know. I'm not straining to do it, and it's fun.
Well, so, and I think going back to that affectation, I think honestly that he created this voice for this project because you know how distinct voices are. Mm-hmm. Somebody would know who the fuck they are based on his voice. I mean, you don't sing at his quality or level without having done it before. As himself. So I think this is like Quentin in this podcast. It's a created persona.
It's a character.
Yeah, it's a character.
I mean,
well, obviously, he's Vessel. So I mean, it is a character. But I think if he chose to sing normal, somebody would be like, "Oh, yeah, I know that guy."
He played in that one band. Yeah.
But I remember the first time I heard of Sleep Token, there was a Revolver article that came up on Facebook, and it was talking about Sleep Token, metal band, released this new single, Teeth. And so I click on the video, listen to it, and Teeth is one of the most non-metal songs that they ever have done. Yeah. And going back to, listening to them more and more, I love that song. At the time, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And so I just kind of wrote them off at that time. And then, I don't know, Spotify random or something dropped the offering. And I was like, oh, shit.
I get it.
I'm here. I'm here for this.
But to jump back into singing, I made an important discovery last practice that I can absolutely hit the range consistently. I have to work on not changing pitch whatsoever. Period. No pitch shift. But I can sing like the singer of Knocked Loose.
This is not something to brag about.
It's a big band. They played Jimmy Fallon live. Have we done that? I don't think so.
It wasn't Jimmy Fallon. It was the other dude. Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the other Jimmy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wasn't Jimmy. It was Jimmy.
It was Jimmy, you idiot.
And the best thing about that performance was the band and Poppy.
Yep. I really like a lot of their riffs. I cannot get into the vocals. I can't.
No, it kills it. Kills it. Absolutely kills it.
What's up, motherfuckers? I don't know. It's not for me.
There was another band that was similar to that. That I kind of fell off. Fever 333.
Oh yeah,
Fever 33, something like that.
I think it was 333.
333.
I think so.
Anyway, again, awesome riffs. This guy did have at least 2 pitches. But again, it just, I don't, and it's, I'm not against heavy vocals. I don't know, something about, I mean, it's almost like Blink-182 trying to be heavy.
Yeah.
Except higher still. I don't know.
Higher yet lower.
Scooped. Yeah, I as much as I would love to talk trash on them, they're doing it. So
they are doing it.
And they have fans and
diehard fans.
Yeah.
And a lot of them didn't even really listen to that type of music up until they heard that band. That's a lot of the ones that I know. So they finally got
good for them.
They've dipped their toes into this heavier scene. So
it just and I can listen to them.
Counting
but
Worms cover coming soon.
It's 2-3 songs and then I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
And for a month.
And maybe I am getting old, but yeah. But I get fatigued now if there's no clean vocals. Like if it's just all heavy vocals all the time, and it's just all high gain guitar the whole time, and I don't know, I get worn out by it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't dislike heavy vocals, but I need some variety in my life, I guess.
Yeah.
I get fatigued getting
my old
out of
age.
bed. So
Get fatigued looking at your face.
So by the time you all hear this, it'll already be out, so you need to go check it out. But for us, at midnight tonight, which means I'll probably listen to it tomorrow, Ghost in the Atlantic drops a new song.
oh shit.
Our homies dropping a new song.
Big things have come.
They have heavy vocals and heavy guitars, so don't get too fatigued.
That may be my exception, is some Ghost in the Atlantic, because
When you add
they have a lot of
Yes.
dynamics in their music,
and when you add the personal connection, that helps a whole lot too.
Oh yeah, but they're just sick, dude.
Yes, they are.
They're so fucking good.
So if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. Ghost in the Atlantic.
But that's something else as well to highlight, is just the dynamics of Sleep Token.
That's
Yeah,
a
for
guest.
sure.
There you go. There's a guest we need to get back on here.
Sleep
It's Ghost-
Token.
Yeah, absolutely. Sleep Token, the interview. Ghost in the Atlantic. We haven't had him on since Brady joined. So
Yeah,
All I'm
hell
saying
yeah.
is
we need
I'm-
to get them on.
I'm not religious, particularly, or at least openly about it. But if Vessel was preaching, bitch, I'd be listening. You know what I'm saying?
man, and it sucks because they were in Dallas this year, and it sold out quick.
I bet it did.
Sold out quick. So what do we say? We want to try, if we can. Sleep Token is rumored to have a new album out this in 2025. So hopefully they'll come back through the U.S.
Not if I can help it. Big things coming. Big things coming.
for Sleep Token. Try and catch them. Poppy, we want to see Poppy.
Yep.
Which she is actually playing Houston the night we watch Meshuggah, but I ain't driving to Houston.
Yeah, see,
Not for that.
We've got this. I didn't get to elaborate a little bit more on that.
It's
but
a system.
yeah, we have a system. I'll buy the tickets, but you're my fucking ride the whole time. I ain't touching the steering wheel.
That's a good system.
So,
Yeah, I'll take it.
yeah.
And then hopefully within the next few years, Rammstein
That's what I want.
come back to
fuck yeah.
America.
I want it. Grew up on that band.
And then, hopefully between now and then, there'll be some new bands that drop, and I'm just like, fuck, man, we got to go see them.
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
God, I would love it if Lazarus would come to the U.S., but
That'd be
I don't think
tight.
that's going to happen anytime soon.
Nope. Lazarus, if you're listening, Lazarus.
Yeah.
Wake up, Lazarus, wake up.
We need to figure out how to say "come to the U.S." in Hungarian.
And get Google.
Yeah.
Google.
I'm impressed. He pulled out his phone. He's actually getting on Google. He didn't say, "Dad, will you Google that for me?"
He's learning.
What's a
He's
Google
growing
Maxi?
up. Q's growing up right before our eyes.
1 second, guys. Filler. Improv.
Yeah. Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, I really want to get into like my tops of the year, but we need to do that. We need to save that shit for Beermas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do need to.
And D has to be here for Beermas. But I've got some opinions for the year. I'm trying to think what Smile 2 was the most recent thing I've watched outside of the shows.
I watched just flipping through Netflix, and I thought I'd give it a try, even though it looked silly. Atlas with
J-Lo.
With J-Lo.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like the most original, like crazy story in the world, but it was fun and it kept my attention the whole time. And I've got to say that J-Lo was like her character was a total emotional like wreck the whole time, and you believed it.
Yeah.
Like she did a fantastic job actually in that movie.
She probably was. Brooke watched it, and I dipped into it.
I got it.
But I didn't see any reason it deserved to get all the hate it got.
I didn't know that there was any hate, but I actually enjoyed it. I'm glad. I would recommend watching it.
Cool.
It was a fun, cool little sci-fi flick.
Jöjjön az Egyesült Államokba.
Fucking knew it.
Nailed it.
Yep. But what else has come out lately? Blows my mind is, I don't know if we haven't got to talk on the pod about Alien and Romulus, so we're not going to do that. We'll put that off. But like all the big movies or horror movies at least, have kind of hit some streaming service,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, video on demand, obviously, but most of them have hit a freebies, or something that you're subscribed to. But fucking Longlegs has not hit anything yet, and in fact, it is still playing in some theaters.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have we talked about it on here?
No.
Yeah, because
they haven't seen it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
My only, what do you know much about Longlegs?
I just hearing you talk about it. That's it.
Did I give you like who was in it, or do you know who's in it?
I think it's Nick Cage is in it, right?
Okay. Yeah. I wish they would have held that back.
Okay.
His makeup was strong enough that it would have been
is that Nick Cage?
Well, you probably would have figured it out, but it would have taken you a minute to figure it out, and I think that would have added a whole nother level. There's one scene in particular, they'd be like, oh yeah, that's fucking Nick Cage.
I don't know. I think a lot of it was that built hype around it.
No,
I was
it
excited to see him as a psycho.
But it's like giving away too much in the trailer, Yeah. It just diminishes it a little bit, It's like the movie Abigail. Have any of you seen Abigail?
No.
Which one was that?
Well, if I tell you, then that kind of spoils it.
Oh, okay.
No,
I don't think so.
Is that the one with like the doll?
Kind of a ballerina?
No.
Oh,
We're thinking of
Annabelle.
No, the Android one.
Yeah, I was thinking of the Android
Megan.
one.
Megan.
I was thinking of that. Yeah.
That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, you said it was
kind
funny.
of silly, but
yeah.
From Dusk Till Dawn. Let's go to that. Most everybody's seen that. You guys have seen that.
What's that movie?
Yeah, fucker. But did you know the premise of that going into it?
No.
And see, I've gotten that response from a lot of people. But the vampire portion of it was revealed in the trailers going into that. But a lot of people...
I knew that it was... No, I don't know. I don't think I did know.
So many people I talked to had no idea that was coming. And I'm like, God, I wish I had been able to experience it like that, because it just flips a switch and it just turns batshit crazy.
Right.
I love that movie, but I just try to imagine what it would have been like not knowing that was coming.
Just thinking it was these fucked up brothers trying to escape the scene of a crime.
Ooh, guys, do we want to place bets on if Nosferatu is going to be an historically accurate snooze fest, or if it's going to fucking rock like I hope it does?
I have hoped that for every Robert Eggers movie, and every Robert Eggers movie has been a fucking snooze fest.
Historically accurate snooze fest.
Accurate as fuck, but my God.
Man's got attention to detail. So much so that I'm like, God damn, being a peasant's boring.
I want him to knock it out of the park for me, because apparently all the A24 go, but oh God damn. Yeah, and like the last movie he did, The Northman. Did you ever watch that one?
No.
Okay, so
Snooze Fest, dude. I couldn't get through it.
But it was marketed with that one scene,
The battle scene
of Alexander Skarsgård fully fucking roided out as a fucking Viking savage.
Yep.
And it was like, yeah! That was all of like 30 fucking seconds of the movie.
Right.
And then he like self-imposes himself as a slave to get to this guy and cuts his hair out. And just fuck, it was a boring movie.
Yeah.
Did he do Witch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was his
Then-
first one.
Then I'm definitely not excited then.
And then he did The Lighthouse.
Lighthouse I liked. It was all right.
It was a snooze fest. It was fucking interesting.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Nothing really happened.
Yeah. The Northman.
But the mermaid scene, I was like, it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie.
Fucking ridiculous. And that The Lighthouse, he got Willem Dafoe, and now Willem Dafoe has been in everything. So and Willem Dafoe is the fucking man.
Oh yeah. Well, his monologue in Lighthouse, I'm like, that fucking rocks. I was like, that's cool.
Everything he said in that was fucking
It's
historically accurate.
Yep.
To some crazy sea shanty man.
Yep. He nailed that role.
Yeah, I want this to succeed. I am not putting a penny in the theater for that.
Yep.
I'm not. I'm just not, because I'm going to be let down.
Yep.
And I don't want to be. And maybe that's a good thing. Here I am knowing I'm going to be fucking let down.
Well, when you go in, like what I've said, with any Star Wars movie or, yada, 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 I've always, with Star Wars in particular, I always walked in with zero expectation. Zero. And always walked out happy. I was like, oh shit, that was all right. I know that you don't share that same sentiment.
Nope.
And you can't let go of some details.
No.
There's only one. There's only ever one detail that I could never let go of through the new trilogy. And that was Leia in space. That was the worst scene
It was really bad.
Yeah.
That was the worst of it, yeah. The thing that killed me, though, is the whole premise is we got to stay 30 yards in front of the Star Destroyer.
We've talked several
Shut the
episodes
fuck up.
in explicit detail regarding
it's like it makes
Here we go.
It makes sense to me that Leia would have developed her use of the Force a little bit, but that scene just looked so fucking bad.
It looks so
It
dumb.
looked so dumb. I'm like,
So dumb.
oh,
The simplest thing they could have done would have been fucking Poe or somebody on the ship, and Leia's reaching out to him with the Force, like
right.
Luke did to Leia.
Instead
Yeah.
of
Bespin.
Supermaning through space.
right.
I don't know. That was the only
And
part.
then they try and fix that in The Rise of Skywalker by showing her big training segment at the
there
flashback.
was that was the only scene throughout the whole new trilogy. That
The
I
whole
really couldn't
problem with the new
forgive.
trilogy is that there was no fucking plan. No plan.
Mhm.
Right.
And, given directors full creative control, J.J. Abrams is horrible about completing anything. He can set up shit, but he can't finish it, which was Force Awakens. And then they passed it off to Rian Johnson. He's like, well, fuck these guys. I'm just going to subvert everything. And, let's see. I'm going to subvert everybody's expectations, but I guess I got to have a story. So I guess they got to stay about 30 yards in front here while we go to a casino planet.
Right. Yeah.
Blackjack hookers.
Honestly, I think my biggest problem with the whole thing is just the whole idea of the First Order. And like you're changing the Empire to the First Order, and you're changing the Rebellion to the Resistance. So you basically have the same thing, except it's not the same thing. I don't know. It just pisses me off.
I would have much rather have seen them not starting with the First Order. Start with the First Order rising to power.
Right.
Because then what you're going to do is, them coming to power, just like the prequels with the Empire coming to power. Yeah, it's the same shit, but you're getting the cycle instead of skipping over the middle part, which now, the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, all that shit is trying to fix.
Right.
Narratively. And just because you want, General Leia to still be a general? The worst thing that J.J. Abrams did was he never reunited the three of them.
Yes.
Fucking killed Han without reuniting the three of them.
Yep.
And then the first person Leia hugs is Rey. Fucking Chewbacca, dude.
Yeah, like what's going on there?
Totally shafted Chewie.
Absolutely.
It was wrong. There are many things in those movies that I do like, and I try and hold on to those, but goddamn, it was just bad. Poorly executed. And it was because there was no plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's lots of behind the scenes stuff that was like, oh, we're switching writers, and JJ and the new writer were trying to get an extension, and Disney was like, no, so we're trying to blame it on Disney, and like, no, you didn't have a fucking story, and you did it. You could have walked away. I don't know. It hurt. It hurt.
Damn.
All right.
But I mean,
did you? Oh,
Ahsoka and Mandalorian, all that stuff. Like, I really like it.
Yes.
So,
and anybody who hasn't given the animated series a chance, all of them have been good.
Yeah, for sure.
All of them. I know some people take issue with Resistance, just because it's directly tied to the sequel trilogy, but it was good. It was good. But Clone Wars is top notch. Rebels was really good. Bad Batch is top notch. And they're definitely worth your time.
Even though there's some filler episodes here and there.
Oh, sure.
In those, but overall, the story is just really great, and the characters are really great.
Yeah. The Clone Wars does an amazing job of making the clones somebody.
Yes.
It adds stakes to the prequel trilogy. All of a sudden, they're just not these disposable warriors. They're people that just happen to be twins and grown. But, and of course, they gave us my favorite character, Ahsoka Tano. So,
yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I would have never thought, like, the first season or two of Clone Wars that I would love her so much.
Yeah.
But I think she has to be my favorite Star Wars character.
The beauty of that character is that outside of maybe, Anakin to Vader, she's the only character that you really get to see fully develop. And really the Clone Wars is really kind of lens through her eyes,
Yeah, it's like, it seems like it didn't start out that way, but as she developed, it's like her perspective developed, and it was so nuanced, and that's what I loved about it. It's like, I was obsessed for a long time. It's like, why can't we see a Jedi that is somewhere in the middle?
Right.
That's kind of gray.
Right. Right.
And she's not exactly that, but she does see the flaws with the Jedi Order and says, "No, I don't want to do that."
Yeah, and that was
big.
one of the most amazing episodes, is when she walked away from the Order. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What? And then that last season, and she's fighting fucking Darth Maul, and I am no Jedi. I was like, oh.
Fucking great, dude.
Yeah, and the animation on that fight was awesome. They brought Ray Park back and motion captured the entire fight with him and another stunt woman, and that was peak Star Wars. And then the story that they created with the Bad Batch and bringing in Omega and the cloning and all that cloning, all this stuff is to really kind of fill in the gaps to flesh out the sequel trilogy. Why Palpatine returned and shit like that. But
it's kind of weird how, like, having that constraint, like, I think it just fosters the creativity to like, and I think, I mean, just relating it to making music, like, I often think that it's like, I'm going to create something I'm going to give myself these parameters.
That's kind of like what BJ does all the time, It's like, give me some random genres, put it together, and I'm going to try and make a song out of it.
Right.
That's a cool exercise. Man, we haven't ever had him on the pod, have we?
Yes.
Did we?
Yeah, he was with Galaxia.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while, but yes.
Him and Dylan. That's right. Well, we might have to get him back on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of shit since then.
Yeah, slightly. But
that's another one. Like, check out Galaxia. Check out Orange, ORNJ.
Yep.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
That's all BJ Lake.
Oh, and check out Blue Shell Bombshell. they were at End of Summer Bash, and we totally dropped the ball on our post End of Summer Bash podcast.
I was saying,
didn't mention them. I felt like there was somebody we were missing. And the worst part is that they came in clutch. We had a last minute cancellation, and they came in clutch and came in and performed. They kicked ass, and we totally dropped the ball. So thank you guys so much. You kick ass. Go check out Blue Shell Bombshell.
Absolutely.
Slap us on the wrist next time you see us. But I don't know. It's been a good little recap. We do have some things planned. I know we've been kind of slow the last few years, but we really and truly are trying to do more with less, I guess you could say, or do less with more. I don't know, but we love every one of you that listens to us, whether it's podcasts, the music, any support you give us. It's always amazing to us that anybody takes time to listen to us, whether we're singing or just ranting bullshit on this pod. But thank you.
Absolutely. Give a high five if you see us walking down the street.
Yeah. And hopefully next time you hear from us, it'll be our beer miss. So Lord help us.